I'll give you an example, and I use this with the people I coach all the time. I'm like, you got a dog? If that dog, you sit down to eat dinner, and you got a big old juicy filet mignon, and it's looking good. And that dog, he knows it looks good too. And he comes and he sits down, he starts whining and begging and begging. No, hush, sit, go over there. He's begging. Finally, fine. Take off a piece of steak, toss it to the dog. Fine, here, shut up. All you've done is taught that dog that the more it whines and the more it begs, it gets steak. It gets steak. So the next time, it might start at the level at which it got rewarded last time.
Which is a lot more intense than the first whine.
Right. So he's gonna come and do,
Wow.
Do you think we're different?
Secret to Success podcast, baby.
No, I was just gonna ask you, and again, because I know you for such a long time, how did you, because now I'm hearing that you have found a balance between leader and shepherd. Not that they ever had to be different, but for you, I think they were different.
Oh, for sure.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, I'm just saying, like, what's the intersect now that allows you?
That the process is that's the goal. It's the process. And let's just be real. I personally, like you say, oh, you don't want to hurt people. That might be, but here's what I understand.
Yeah.
Bruh, I understand the process. If you really go through the process, you talk about purging, you talk about purifying. Bruh, there is absolutely no way you deal with God and you don't get that butt spanked. And not only spanked, when you start dealing with God for real, he's going to pull the best out of you. And so what you want is, I want to get to that level. He like, oh, okay, that's what you think.
Well, and where's the best? The best comes out of broken.
That's it. That's it. Yeah. And I don't know that God wants to do that, but that's
the way we gonna respond.
So what I realized with my son was, bruh, you trying to produce this without him going through the process. He got to go through the process. Don't nobody get to not know. Now here's the deal, Karl. When you say you want to be an owner, you got to go through the process. Now, what I've been telling people is, you hear me say this all the time now. Hey, do me a favor. I'm not suggesting that you change. You just need to work for somebody for the rest of your life. Take what they tell you they're going to get and shut up. And be grateful for it. Now, if you're talking about you want to make more and you want to do more, then you got to go through the process now.
But here's think about this for a second. If you're an owner and you want to grow, if you want to grow so that you make more money, you're going to be limited. What Saban tells us is to create an atmosphere in a program where the players have a better chance of being successful in life because they participated in the program.
In life.
He didn't say anything about everybody winning championships or everybody doing, come here and this is what we'll make sure you're a champion. No. He said, you come be a part of this program and you're going to be better at life.
Not a first round draft.
And that's
here's the thing.
Here's the manageable.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. That was his philosophy.
That's a winning season.
Okay. Saban's gone from Alabama now. So we can look at it in totality.
Yeah, we can.
If you played for Nick Saban and you stayed for 4 years, you won a national championship.
Yeah. But that wasn't a promise.
No, that was never discussed.
Wow.
Saban said, you come here, you will be a better person when you leave.
And I can control that.
I can control
let's
that.
Look at what. Here, I want you. Let's just.
That's
Blake
crazy.
Got the video pulled up. I want to see if y'all. I know if y'all just listening now.
Adam
I don't even know if we can put it up there. But I want y'all to see. Just hold on. So look. Is that do I got the right thing?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, I got you. Okay, it's 7 minutes. Okay, it's 7 minutes left. Either way, they're up 42-14. So look at this, E, and for those of y'all. Look, he trying to get the ball snapped. He had to call a timeout. Look at him yelling at the. Bro, it's 42-14. Look at them. They yelling at each. Look at them. What you doing, bruh?
Because that is.
They're upset because they're both making calls, and McCarron's trying to overrule Barrett Jones, and Barrett Jones is saying,
Bro, that's the starting center and the starting quarterback about to scrap. I'm saying, no,
And
I
they
want
got
y'all
a
to
flag.
understand. Go ahead, pause it, Blake.
And they got a flag.
I want y'all to understand what this is like.
Hold on, I want to keep watching.
This is
I want to see what Nick
go ahead.
Saban-
My bad,
I
my
want to
bad.
see what Nick Saban about to do.
Come on, go ahead.
Yeah.
He going
Oh,
off.
he going off too.
And do you think he cares about that score?
Yeah. Wow, look at that. Look at the.
Bro, it's no way possible they could come back.
They losing right now. If I'm watching this with the mute on, I got the mute on and I don't see the score. They get
Think
beat.
that they're down.
They get
listen.
beat.
Right.
But-
Yeah.
but-
You don't
but-
see the
they
score.
get-
You're like,
listen,
oh man.
they get
they-
But this is
They getting dealt
equivalent
with.
to, I want you to understand, this is equivalent to landing a multi-million-dollar contract, right? And then somebody not bringing the right food to the celebration party and accidentally bringing decaf coffee instead of regular and getting cussed the blank out. No, I'm just trying to make, maybe that might be out of bounds, but I'm just telling you.
No, I think it's
Yeah,
fair.
I'm just trying to tell you, like,
perfectly fair.
but here's the thing. What I realized when I watched that and why that impacted me so greatly, because I was like, yo, they about to win a national championship, but them two are seniors and they about to go into the NFL or wherever they going. But you got a whole group of kids that's red shirting, that's on the sidelines going. So what happens is if you let them think as long as you winning is cool.
Yeah.
So now every rep don't count the same because you're showing us that depending on what the situation is, depends on it if I give my best or not.
Which basically is the most transactional thing you could ever say, right? If my effort depends on
Situation.
the score, the outcome,
Yep.
that is inherently
Bro,
transactional.
that's a different mindset, dog.
Hey, I know
That's
you
a
have
different-
this for a different Blake. I'm gonna say this. I know you got this for a different concept.
Yep.
But it's the same. It applies on the
Oh, yeah.
opposite side. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Oh, 100%.
Blake, I'm about to send you another one. Oh,
So-
this
yeah.
is crazy.
So listen to this. So Saban said when he was at LSU that he knew that at the beginning of the year that he won the national championship, he said he knew that was going to be the year because at the beginning of the year every year he would have his players bring to him their goals for the season.
Yep.
And he said it was the first time that his players had brought him a list of goals that were not result oriented. Here's what their goals were. The national championship LSU team under Nick Saban's goals at the beginning of the year were 1, to be a team. 2, work every day to dominate my opponent. 3, be responsible for my own self-determination. 4, be a champion.
Nobody said I want to have 65 catches and 1,000 yards. Like nobody said anything like that. Everything they're speaking to is process oriented. You know what I'm saying? Stuff that and that's the difference, dog. And it's like, yo, when I look at E and the process for years, it's like, bro, we've watched the process. E never said I get up at 3:00 in the morning as long as we not making a lot of money as a company. I get up at 3:00 in the morning when me and my wife feel good. It's like, no.
I travel till 1:00 in the morning in 40 different time zones.
Bruh, that's what I said. I was like, dog, when E blew my mind for real is when we were in Australia and this man got up at 3:00 in the morning. I'm like, E, it's like 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right now. Like, why are you getting up right now? But like, E, you can talk about it for yourself. Like being so committed to the process, and then when you start getting out what you want out of it, staying committed to it.
Yeah, I would just say though, for those of you, you high level, I didn't document the process.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I didn't document why. So I kind of look now at some of the people that work for me.
It's documented in a different way. It's it's documented through audio.
I'm just saying, yeah, right.
I got audio.
Yeah, I got you, but I'm
1992.
saying, but I'm saying to your point, it's not said. You feel me? Like it's not
a system
it's implied. It's like, yo, you're supposed to do this. And I'm gonna be real. See, some people with implied can pick it up and get it. Not everybody can. So for me, when I heard you say what your commentary about the Alabama situation, is like they know that. And so it's like as leaders, we have to make sure that we communicate it, because I know now why people might look at me crazy when I go, bruh, you didn't do this, and this is going. It's like, bruh, we had 30,000 people that watch it, or we had, and it's like, yo, you don't know how many people didn't show up though because of that error. Like you don't know how many people, and you don't know whose life needed to be saved, and they didn't watch. So you just looking at it from this angle. My bad. I have to be responsible because maybe you've never even operated this level before, you know. And again, I'm not a victim, and I'm not in the victim. I don't have a victim's mindset. But I do remember Karl was like, man, you going over to Dubai or whatever, then you come back. It's like we didn't get that experience. But you did, and you coming back with that fire. So it's kind of like, okay, God, how do I create that without? That's why the Boston trip for the kids is important to me, but because it's like, yo, you gotta expose, you gotta give people, you know, opportunity. So like I said, I know what the process is, and I know why. I know, you know, Candace was like Didi, what Didi say about the message? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the message was fire. Avery came over, was like, man, God, Dad, that message you did was fire.
Yeah.
He was like, what? Cam was like, what did he say about it? I said, she hadn't said anything, Candace.
I'm still waiting.
Yeah, I said she hasn't said anything about the message, you know, and I know why, and I'm okay now, because there was a time with Didi where I wanted to hear her say, "You did a good job.
Well done, now good and faithful servant."
You've been faithful over a couple sermons you did. But Didi said it when I said, "Hey, Candace asked, how was the sermon?"
I ain't asked.
Yeah,
I'm good.
right.
Candace want to know.
Yeah.
You want to call her direct, or you tell me I call her back?
Right. And so Didi was just saying, call Candace, and I want to let Candace know that it is not my job to tell him how good it is. It's my job to make sure he keeps producing the best he can produce. And that doesn't come from me stroking his ego. Everybody else could do that if they want to. But she was like, my job is not to say, Candace, you got a 9. My job is to figure out why you didn't do that 10%. Because when you made that mistake, some people in the room were okay with the mistake. But when you said the wrong word, for those of us who are super detailed,
that took Didi
we
right
got
out.
caught on that
She
word.
Hear nothing else.
We didn't hear nothing else.
Sermon
Said
stopped right there at the 6 minute mark.
Unbelievable. And it was an hour and 6 minutes sermon.
That last hour,
you didn't
Tapped
catch
out.
it. But you know what's crazy about it? And I'm gonna preach this weekend. What's crazy about it is I've gotten used to the championship atmosphere. I've gotten accustomed to even myself going, slow down. Why are you talking so fast? Because the mistake Didi said you made with Martin Luther King was married to Rosa Parks instead of Coretta.
My brain was working too.
Yeah, it was. And so Didi's thing is like, yo, you think I'm tripping. I'm not. But it's on YouTube, so people will hear that error 10 years from now, 20 years from now. So that error is forever.
That's one of my favorite eras.
Oh, mine too.
Bro, he was speaking.
No, I was convinced, bro.
Kids at those
I was convinced.
It was Black History Month.
Yeah.
And he was like, listen, you can think Rosa Parks, she married Martin Luther King. When Martin Luther King died, who you think Rosa had to get with? Rosa had to, but you know when you hear somebody say it, and then
then you be like, you be like questioning your own self.
Oh no,
no question,
bro. I was like, yo,
the kids
I didn't know
didn't
that
know.
they got together.
Bro.
I'm talking about the kids. The kids.
I was like,
they didn't know.
I didn't know that.
I knew because I knew E, and I was like, man, he just like doubled down. And then it was like 3 minutes later, he was like, come on, be real. Rosa Parks, she married Martin Luther King. And he just kept going. And I was like, wow. It was like I couldn't stop it. And I wanted to just yell out, hey, correct. And he just kept going, bro. That was one of my
and honestly, if Didi was there, because of her championship mindset, Didi would have been like,
walked out.
Correct.
Been like,
Correct.
No. And I would now.
Yeah, no, you could, of course.
But back then, I was
but you see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
But I would have felt some type of
But
way.
listen, let me tell you something.
I
Y'all might
wasn't
think
on
that's
chapter
funny. How could E do it? Listen, for somebody who has to talk as much as E has to talk,
Bro,
I know I be teasing, but bro, I'm talking about y'all don't even understand sitting on this pod talking for like, bro. like people be like, how did he say that? It's like, bruh, when you have to sit here and just talk for a long time, it's like, bro, you gonna make some mistakes. You gonna say some things you didn't mean to say, out of order, back and forth. Like, yo, it's just gonna happen. Now,
I do that talking to my kids.
That's what I'm saying. You have to be a good person, but it's like, bro, for somebody who has to, like, he's probably giving 25,000 speeches. So yeah, it's gonna be some, gaps.
But
in
to
there,
Didi's point, when she corrects me,
yeah,
and I don't see it in the way it's supposed to be seen, I'm pissed. It took years for me to be able to work in that environment and go, bro, let me tell you something. Didi said, I owe your mom an apology. And I was like, yeah. She's like, yo, our relationship has, when it was rocky, Didi was like, yo, it was rocky because I misunderstood her. And so Didi was like, when I got with you, your mom wouldn't give you money. Your mom wouldn't do this. She's like, I was just like, what mother would just, she said, but your mom raised a champion. Your mom knew you, and your mom knew the standard. And she knew, like, she had to be hard on you. Yeah. And so she was like, people might dog your mom out, but look at what she produced. Wow. She was like, but if she would have let you keep doing what you were doing, you could look at other people in your family. Like, you could look at other males in your family. I don't care if you go 3 generations up, whatever, and you could look at people who were allowed to be spoiled and pacified. Yep. They didn't develop the way you develop. So Didi was like, yo, I'm being real. She's like, I don't know if she called her, but she's like, yo, I need to call your mom and apologize because I'm thinking, yo.
Let's call her and ask her if she actually did call.
Yeah, man, they was on the phone all day, 5.5 hours, bro.
No, I was going to say, let's play that clip, Black, because
5.5 hours. Yeah. Crazy.
Oh, wow.
But they wouldn't talk before. But she was like, she said, when Eric needed remember you might call your mom and be like, Mom, can I get 500?
Yep.
Didi used to be like, yo, you call your mom and ask your mom for money, and your mom was like, no. Or my mom would go, how much you need? 500, when I'm getting it back. My mom said, yo, do me a favor, son. I'm not playing with you. If you tell me 2 weeks, I need my money back in 2 weeks. And Didi used to be like, yo. Didi,
you did.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
And so Didi would be hurt. Like,
somebody
what kind of mother would do that? But now as Didi see what I'm doing in the world, she like,
standard.
I see what you're doing because I see with my own son how we may have, but we crippled him by doing X, Y, and Z, and we didn't mean no harm. But your mom was a tyrant. But look at it what it produced.
Look, so often as leaders, we tell people what we're going to accomplish.
Yeah.
Instead of explaining to them how we're going to
accomplish it. Yeah.
We don't need to talk about what all we're going to accomplish. We need to explain to people how we're going to do it.
Yeah. No.
That's how we lead them.
Yeah, just run it. This clip, y'all, I want to see it. Now, this clip is from a slightly different angle, but it actually applies perfectly to what we're talking about. So, yeah, just play it, Black.
They are sealed.
Oh, yeah.
They are left undisturbed for 3 days. Then, when the jar is opened, the fleas will not jump out. In fact, the fleas will never jump higher than the level set by the lid. Their behavior is now set for
you seen it, E?
their lives.
Yeah. I see it. Yeah, that's great.
And when these fleas reproduce, their offspring will automatically follow their example.
That part.
This is how generational trauma truly works.
Right.
So again, that's talking about it from who. Yeah, if you're listening, this is I guess a scientific experiment where they put fleas in a jar. I'm talking like a mason jar or something like that. Put them in there, covered it, and left them. And they're saying after, what was it? He said 3 days. They removed the jar, and these fleas will never fly past the height. Now again, full open. We've heard it with the elephant before. If you tie it or whatever, but full open space, and they will never go beyond that. And I'm saying in the context of this, so again, this is
and then when they reproduce.
And then when they reproduce, their offspring would never go past that same height. Bruh, the whole world, they can fly. It ain't like they're walking and you limit it. They can fly.
And look, don't get it twisted and think that the animal kingdom is that more simple than we are. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'll give you an example. And I use this with the people I coach all the time. I'm like, you got a dog? If that dog, you sit down to eat dinner, you got a big old juicy filet mignon, and it's looking good. And that dog, he knows it looks good too. Mm-hmm. And he comes and he sits down, he starts whining and begging and begging. No, hush, sit, go over there. He's begging. Finally, fine. Take off a piece of steak, toss it to the dog. Fine, here, shut up. All you've done is taught that dog that the more it whines and the more it begs, it gets steak. It gets steak. So the next time, it might start at the level at which it got rewarded last time.
Which is a lot more intense than the first whine.
Right. So he's going to come and do,
Wow.
Do you think we're different? If my kids are irritating me, can I have my iPad, Dad? Let me just get 5 more minutes on my iPad, Dad. Let me do. No, finish your homework. Fine, take your iPad. What have I taught my kid? We're not that much more complex.
You get rewarded for wine.
Let me tell you something. Sweet Pea been killing me with that same trick since birth. Daddy! I'm like, that.
But I'm just saying, looking at it.
But with the Flea thing, it's
insane. But I'm saying, flip the other side to leadership. When you set the standard and it's clear that this is the standard, the generations after follow the same standard.
But the only challenge with that is, and he said it, and leaders, y'all have to just, you know what I'm saying? You gotta clean your soul.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta clean your soul, and you gotta ask yourself this question. For you, for real, you really gotta ask yourself this question. Do you keep the standard and lose your people? Or do you keep your people and spend more time working on the standard? And it's a real question you got to ask, because it's not about keeping the standard. So when you say that, it's like, bro, it's not about keeping the standard. You can keep the standard and you can fire higher. Like, it's not that deep. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, when you talked about if it works, bruh, like why you want them to come to the challenge. Because if it can work, if you can do standard and friendship, if you could do standard and family, it's magical. If you're just doing standard, but you don't even want to play, you don't really want to be there, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's magic when you can create, what.
But yeah, using Chick-fil-A as an example.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
No matter where you go, some kind of way. Bro, I don't, it's
beyond me.
They cannot all be flight attendants.
No, it cannot. Carl, that's what I'm telling you.
But it sure look like that's the standard.
Sure look like
But there is a standard, bro. They got chick. I'm talking about no matter where you go. I'm saying you got 16, 17-year-old kids. You go to Burger King, they're not even gonna look at you. And listen, it's one of the craziest things, but Saban, Chick-fil-A, it's like, y'all, they set a culture of you don't even feel comfortable coming in here wilding out. You see what I'm saying?
No.
Oh, I promise you. And I'm not trying to be funny, but it'd be like kids where they be like, oh yeah, my son, he bad, he off the chain. And then they come over to my house, they don't be acting like that. No. I'm not trying to, I'm just off rip. I'm like, oh, okay, he bad. Oh, okay, well, I just want to let you know my son a little. I'm like, okay. Then he come in my house. Oh, okay, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we don't see that same. I'm just saying, that just don't even,
your point,
you don't even feel like that go around here.
You
know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm old school.
And because you come into a house where they come in a standard. But in their house, to your point, there is a standard, but you manipulating that standard.
Oh, yeah, no.
And so you taking it as far. You feel what I'm saying?
Let me tell you something. Oh, I seen this kid. Oh, yeah. Never mind.
No, I'm just saying I want to be fair.
I almost said somebody else standard.
Yeah.
I almost told them.
But I'm saying to your point, which is a deep point.
Right here,
which is
I don't know if that's
to your point. It's different when a child comes into a standard, versus a child knows I'm in here and I'm about to try to manipulate this.
Let me tell you something. You come to my house wilding out, you gonna look around and be like, ooh, oh.
But I'm saying
you feel uncomfortable.
But I'm saying even in my own house.
That's what I'm saying. So imagine being at Chick-fil-A and you trying to be with the stank attitude.
No.
It don't even work.
Yeah, but I'm just saying as leaders, we just have to be careful because you said it. I do have a standard. But I even notice in my house, it's a different standard for Jalen than it is for Jada. It's just a different standard, period. And they know that, and he's questioned me about it. Like, yo, some of the stuff that, like, I see her saying or doing, you would never let me say that or do that. And it was like, oh, I never paid attention to it, but I do see you as my son.
Yeah.
And I do see you as having a family. And so there is a person that I see in my head and what I want you to do. Whereas your sister, I see her more being a supportive role in the family. So I don't necessarily, so I'm just saying, there are certain things, you come to my crib, I don't like, that's not my, but you're not trying to manipulate it either because you're only there for a few minutes. I want to talk to the leaders about the people that's in your environment and who are manipulating the environment because I never thought, but it's like the dog that's whining and you do have to teach, hey, we have a relationship, but you can't manipulate the relationship. And again, I say this all the time, not because it's going to affect me. I have found a world that I have mastered. You are putting yourself in a position where if something happens to me, you can't take that into You can't take that into the and so you got to stop doing that because you only gonna have one stream of income acting like that because I'll allow that. But you go somewhere else, they're not even gonna allow it. So for me, for leaders, we do have to ask ourselves, why do we keep the standard, but we don't force other people to keep a standard? That's going to be a blessing to them. Because like I said, Didi always says.
I don't like when your low standards come around my standards and it feel like your standards is rubbing off on my, like, you know what I'm saying? That's why I can't keep certain company. Right. Because I'm just like, bro, I can't do it. Like if that's what you want.
High achievers.
Yeah, they can't. Nick Saban said that. He
high achievers and mediocre people cannot.
Yeah, he said they can't do it.
They cannot cohabitate.
Oh man, let me tell you something.
He said he'd rather have a whole team of mediocre.
Exactly.
Than a
y'all better
match.
off. Yeah, you better off. I promise
no, because it's a standard. But you're gonna get pissed off.
No.
But that's what I peeped out about. That's what it is. That's what I noticed about him and D. It's like, yep, I see why y'all do what y'all do. But for Didi, it's like, yo, y'all don't get it. It starts first with a crack in the, and then it's and then the wall and then next thing we wake
for
up,
sure.
The church we can't even get insurance on this thing because it's not worth it because you depreciate.
As soon as I see that crack, get me the putty and we fixing that joint right now. I ain't got time. And it's so funny, man. And let me see how much time we got. I don't know if I want
7, 8 minutes.
Okay, yeah.
If you want to know exactly what kind of time.
Well, no, I know Dr. Downs got to get to Detroit to the airport, and the roads are not super friendly. But to your point, no, you know what? Let's say that. I don't even want to go into that. That could be a whole nother thing. But anything else you want to share with us about Saban real quick before we wrap up?
No, I think that one of the things that I think he breaks it down really simple, and I wanted to touch on this today, so I'm going to just read this one last little quick one. I think is pretty.
8 minutes.
Yeah,
it's pretty. He talked about because we're talking about the process, right? Mm-hmm. And we talk about no one wins at that level of consistency and accomplishes the things he's accomplished without a system, right? Like a system that he comes in and puts into place. And so what he says is you have to have that system. He said, but the system has to be in place, but most of the time people fail not because of the system, but because they don't have the discipline to execute it every day.
Right. So you have got you.
So he said, so you can have your system, and it can be the best system in the world. And then he said, so what is discipline, right? He said, discipline, the easiest way to explain it is if there is something I'm supposed to do, but I don't want to do it.
That's discipline.
And you do it anyway.
Come on.
Or there's something that you're not supposed to do, but you want to do it.
And you don't do it.
And you don't do it. And he said, discipline, this is the part that I liked, because he said, your morality will guide you.
Your real morality.
Yeah.
Not the one you claim.
Right.
I'm a Christian.
Yeah.
Not that one.
No, I'm not. I call that the Jesus shield.
Yeah.
You know, people are like, oh, well, Jesus did it. Oh, okay. Well, hold on. Move the Jesus shield. Let me see what you're really talking about.
Yeah.
You know,
what's your shield?
Right. Yeah. Right. So, but I think that's so important because it's about the process. It's about the system. And we as leaders can put all that into place. But then if we don't have the ability, if our people aren't disciplined, but when we look at our people, when we assess our team, is it the people aren't disciplined, or are they not being led in the way? Are they not being led from a place where their morality isn't guiding that for them? Mm-hmm. And that's a whole different type of a way you address a problem, right? Like when you're looking at your team, like, is it the right team? Are they buying into our value? Are we having an aligned value structure?
Yep.
Like that is the most. So it kind of goes back to what you're talking about. Like, do you do the process, lose your people, keep your people, and try to make it work? I think you have to do an assessment and figure out, can they do it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
do
they
have the capacity
truly
to do it?
have the same value alignment?
And there's two value alignments. One value alignment is like life value alignment.
Right.
And then another value alignment is work.
The organizational.
Yeah, like that's different.
Yeah,
You know
the
what I'm saying? And
organizational
sometimes
value,
people got
100%.
one, they don't have, you know what I'm saying? Like
But when you're doing what y'all do, when you do this hybrid mix, when you conventional wisdom out the window and you do bring it together, like your value systems on your personal life and your organizational life have to mesh too.
Mm-hmm.
Like it can't be, well, I have a certain value system I live by when I'm at home with the fam, and then this is the values of our business.
Yeah.
Well,
that's what I tell you. You can't do that in no small business. That's the thing. Now you got some big old company. I'm sure
Amazon, I'm sure has no problem with that.
all day.
Bro,
It's 5 million staff members. They got 5 million staff members.
Listen, we
ETA?
Yeah. We can see
not
all
so
of them.
Literally.
We can see every last one of them.
We fit on one Zoom screen.
And that's the crazy part. And what each one of them does affects each other.
Absolutely.
And that's the part. Yeah, that's the part people don't understand. That's why I always be like, yo, I get it that you don't get it, but I always tell people like, yo, you got to understand something. This is the one thing I respect about my son, and we found the balance, because there was a time, whatever. But the one balance I love about Jason, he been working with you, is Jay be like, okay, I respect you, so if we need to call Adam, we can, but why can't we fix it? Like, it's the two of us.
Yeah.
It's our relationship. So why we got to call Adam to Adam? And so I was like, okay, cool. I don't never got to call Adam, but that alignment we got to find.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I don't mind seeing it your way, but I need you to see it my way. Not because I need you to do what I'm telling you to do, but I need you to understand.
100%.
Because you'll be like, oh, Dad, but you don't want to go to why am I? You feel me? And that's so funny. Like, I have people in the squad, and they'll be like, well, I don't like when you talk to me like that. I'm like, call Tiffany and ask Tiff if we ever had that conversation. Me and Tiff ain't never had the conversation because she handled her responsibilities. Or I got this one person, I'm like, yo, you don't get it. Every time we have a challenge, you keep telling me what, like, you think I'm pissed, but you keep telling me why it didn't happen. And so I'm going to have to fire you not because you're a bad human. You can't tell me so you can't never fix none because you always say it's somebody else's fault.
Well, when all you see is the problem.
So that, you feel me? So it's like, I'm not mad at you, but this is the 10th time it happened. So I already know it's going to happen the 11th because you don't know why it happened. Because you said I didn't communicate with you, or so-and-so didn't give you your, and so-and-so. So you think I'm mad. I'm not mad. You can't tell me why you fumbling the ball. You're going to keep fumbling, and we're going to lose the game. So if you could just tell me why you fumbling, I can go, oh, Jay, let me call Adam. Oh, I got a whole bunch of people that's in my, Boog, let's call Adam. Adam can definitely, and now Boog is texting me, Dad, I'm working on the book. And I'm like, that's what I always wanted. And because of you counseling us, I had to learn, okay, he think I'm saying you lazy. No, what I'm saying is the opposite. You working hard, but on the wrong stuff. You feel me? You working hard, but you not doing the stuff you didn't put up 1,000 yards, but you ain't got no touchdowns. And so it's Jameson, don't kill me. Everybody know that's my dog, right? Everybody know Jameson, my dog, right? But Jay, he didn't put up 30 touchdowns, but he put up 30 interceptions. And so it's like, no, like, bro,
the Lord give it,
and the Lord take it away.
But I do need the Lord to deliver me from pick sixes.
From them pick sixes.
You feel me?
Got to deliver me from the pick sixes.
What I'm saying, here's what I try to explain. I get what y'all saying. You only want to talk about the 30 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Of course. But we have to address.
Don't worry about that. Why you all up in the interception bit?
You feel me? And why do we have to
focused on the TDs, bro?
And the reason why we have to address it because I want you to be able to throw more touchdowns. Yeah. And if we throw interceptions, somebody gonna take your spot.
Them interceptions weren't my fault, though.
Hey, or Adam.
The touchdowns was mine. Hey. The interceptions.
That's what's
my man ran the wrong route.
But here's check this. my response to Jameis is this, is not about, delivering me from the pick sixes, but it's, hey, as the quarterback leading this team, like, what do you value the most? Like, winning, sure, but is it about putting your teammates in the position to be successful? Is it about leading them through these obstacles? And with you throwing 30 interceptions, are you putting you and your team in the position? No. Okay, so you're not operating in your value. Absolutely. So, like, I don't care if it's 5 interceptions or 50. Like, your value is to produce this to your team. Mm-hmm. So we don't have to worry. Like, I'm not going to talk to you about all your interceptions. Yeah. We're just going to talk about, like, you value not. So now we go and we put a system in place to not do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that system is around your strength.
Right, exactly.
And that's why
it's never once. But what I tell James,
it is. But
like, never once would I be like, dude, you're not reading the, you're not processing fast enough. You're not going to your check down fast enough. Yeah. That's all I'm doing is criticizing him. I'm just gonna be like, no. You obviously are upset about this because you value putting your teammate. Yeah. So he's beating himself up. I don't need to beat him up. Yeah. Like, all I need to do is be like, no. Let's get you back in your value.
Absolutely, and show you how your strength. Because, like I said, with Didi was just showing me, like, she was like, you don't really get it. You a beast. But it is your spontaneity that also causes problems.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm not even dogging your spontaneity out. I'm just saying your spontaneity is not always beneficial to you. And only you can know when it's not beneficial for you. Like, I can't tell you because I'm not spontaneous. She's like, I'm structured. And if it was up to me, we would just be living right there. We would never travel. We would never go nowhere. Right. So I actually we was in Dubai because of you. I would have never gone to Dubai. I would have went to Detroit, or I would have went to Chicago. She's like, I would have never. But you see what I'm saying?
100%.
And so I just had to learn, in my spontaneity is also danger.
Yeah.
And so it's like, create a system for the danger part of my spontaneity.
Every action has an equal and opposite reaction.
And we're going to be okay. And so I'm like, oh, Didi, you're actually telling me that structure is not against me. It's going to make me better. I'm like, oh, imagine me trying to do 365 days of coaching without structure. Bruh, when they gave me the structure, at first I was like, you want me to sit here and read off a prayer? I'm like, bruh, prayer is intimate. And it was like, nobody said you had to read it. Yeah. But this is a guide. And you know, the one thing that helping me with the 365, it's like, whoa, I got something different every day. Whereas if I would have just had to be spontaneous, you probably would have heard a lot of repeat stuff.
You just get in a routine,
Bruh, for real. But now it's like, and then the other thing the 365 coaching did for me when they gave me a structure is like, whoa, I say this today and we build off that tomorrow. And then we build off of that one. And then we build off of that one. And by the end of the year, I built off of. And I'm like, God, thank you for the structure.
Thrive2025challenge.com.
Let's go.
2025challenge.com. It's free. You can still sign up right now.
Y'all can sign up right now.
Sign up.
Change their the paradigm.
Yeah, y'all.
Set the standard.
Yes,
that's right.
Yes, not just yourself. Yeah. Hey, appreciate you, Dr. Downs.
Hey, appreciate you, brother.
A pleasure having you, brother.
Always.
Love being here.
Love to the family, man.
Well, we
Safe
always
travels
happy,
back.
We're having you on the podcast.
Safe travels back to Bama. Love y'all. Anybody got anything pressing?
There's still 58 seconds.
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah.
No. Adam hit what I was gonna say real quick, but I was just gonna say it to speak to transformation. Adam, like we talked about that, but whoever it is, as a leader, I want to challenge leaders to make sure you speak to the transformation. Yeah. Do you want to go down in history as a fumbling quarterback or as a Mahomes, Brady?
Well, here's the thing: if you're transactional, you're not going to go down in history.
So that's what I'm saying. So even when you're in your mind as a leader, you have to correct. Make sure you're correcting from. And you said the values, a value based. Like, hey, I know who you are. I know what you're capable of. Yep. I know the work you put in. I know where you're trying to get to. Yeah, that's right. We gotta make a couple of are not going to get you there.
Hey, and I'll say this for another time. But what I love about Saban is your confidence piece.
Oh yeah.
Like, watch this. He's so confident that he's not threatened by the fact that he's about to create his own competition.
Oh,
He already know.
Bro, he's so confident that he had ET come in and get his player's ear and let him know what he think. Like, I'm just saying, y'all think I'm playing. It's a lot of coaches who low-key don't fool with E, not because they don't think he's the best in the world, but because they're worried about him having more influence over the players than him, than the coach. Like, I know that for a fact. I mean, like, I've talked to people who
Saban will
coach
look at
and they
that
be like,
and
yeah, we
just
can't
be
bring
like,
E in. The coach, like, a little, like, he know that, you know, they might be looking at E like, oh, okay. I'm like, wow. But
Saban will just look at that and be like, good, come on.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
Bring it in.
Saban had us in the office.
Yeah.
He had me and Jalen in the office asking me questions. He wasn't in there like, Eric, you know how many Super Bowls I won? Championships I won? He was like, so E, in this generation, Jalen, how old are you?
Yeah, yeah.
Are you 24? Oh, my players are 24. Jay, what do you think about? And Jalen in there spitting game to him.
Yeah.
Oh, and let me tell you something. We went in there. You talk about the process and just being system oriented. Oh, they were like, all right, you guys are going to go in coach's office at 6:05. From 6:05 to 6:15, you guys are going to talk to coach. At 6:15, you're going to walk out. You'll be in the room by 6:17. Eric, your speech will start by 6:20. The guys will get in there at 6:19. And I'm talking about.
And at 6:19, what happened?
Oh, the players walked in. He by 6:20 on the dot was talking, and I was like, he's gonna have 40 minutes for his speech. After that, the players go to and bruh. When I listen, you talking about young, testosterone-driven kids coming in a room all together at the same time, bro. They came in that joint.
Yep.
I was like,
Bro, you know how many coaches have never met me when I come today?
oh yeah, no, they like, okay, cool. ET here, I can go. I check out early. I'm about to go.
Bro, they never even spoke to me.
My man Saban
never
had that
addressed me.
notepad, put them glasses on, and sat there and took notes on every single
Copious.
thing. And then the next day was in the press conference and said, we had Eric Thomas come here last night, and he told us about beast mode. And he said,
Everybody wanna be a beast.
Everybody want to be a beast until it's time to do what beasts do.
And then-
he said, and that's exactly what we got going on at practice today. You got people who want to be, say they want to be. I'm like, bro,
And then 2 days later, he had Kobe Bryant.
bro, come on.
Tuesday, ET, Kobe Bryant on third.
Come on,
like,
bro.
He's
Standard.
confident.
He's showing you
He's
other people.
confident. And so I'm saying,
And what he's doing is he's finding individuals who he know are going to affirm what he's been saying.
That's
and
right.
I'm finding individuals who y'all respect
Yeah.
to come in here and say, see, I told you. So when we get
And
to
those
practice
are living,
on Friday, and
breathing-
you just heard from E and Kobe, it ain't just coach tripping. That you know what I'm saying? You don't get to say, coach, you the only. Nope.
I've exposed you to the excellence, the fleas. I've exposed you to the excellence.
He's so sweet with it too. I mean, like the way he drops it in. Like the other day, he was on an interview and they said something about, what were you most proud of at Bama? And he's like, well, it's not the 2.4 billion in contracts that we have in the league right now. That's probably not it. I think I'm probably the
2.4
most.
billion.
I was like, yo,
Slight flex.
just a slight flex.
Just a slight flex.
There's $2.4 billion being floated around right now into families
For Bama players.
because it came out of his system.
Wow.
and not that's just hit. He's not saying Kirby. He's not saying, you feel me, like calling all the other ones out.
Yeah.
And how much when you cut, he just
that's the whole
talking,
NFL.
Right, he talking right.
Literally.
His tree.
Yeah.
He not like personal, but not the leaves and the
Oh,
branches
yeah,
that
no. He's
come
talking about the
off
ones
his
that just
tree.
came directly
Oh,
from him.
absolutely.
But I'm
That's
just
what I'm
saying, when
saying.
you talk about confidence, what you said, stress or depression and all of that is related to you don't have
100%.
confidence.
100%.
And so he ain't in there worried about who gonna take his spot. And as soon as he quit, he had a job. As soon as he quit, he doing college football, NFL football,
Every
he doing
TV show, every
Affleck. He on with Dion.
With Dion,
He
yeah.
with, you know what I'm saying? He like, bro, I know my stuff. And people like, how I get fired? There ain't nobody giving me a shot. Why everybody treat me like that? Well, it's
When you operate like that, people treat you like that. I ain't gonna lie. We was in I was in Tuscaloosa and Saban lived around the corner from Adam's old crib, and Adam was like, "You wanna go over there?" I was like, "Huh?" He was like, "Yeah, Saban crib right there. Let's drive past it." I was like, first of all, Adam, I don't know if you know this, black in Alabama rolling through these back little neighborhoods talking about you just want to see Saban crib.
Yeah, hey, just ride with my white privilege. Just roll with me.
Let's go.
I got enough privilege for both of them.
Oh, bro.
Let's go. I'm with Adam.
But anyway, I already know, man. My man, again, just when you see somebody at that level, bro, moving like that, and just winning everywhere you go, you like, oh, that's a different mindset. Like if we can adapt that mindset, and hopefully y'all enjoy some of these teachings.
Well, he said winning begins with mindset.
Yeah. Oh, for 1,000,000%. And that's again, that's why I think this pod is so important. What you putting into yourself, your spirit, your body, everything. Thrive2025challenge.com.
Let's go.
Make sure you meet us there. Again, Adam, thank you, man.
Join that Patreon.
Appreciate y'all. Yeah, get on
Cop
the
that
Patreon.
Clueless gear.
Yep, cop that Clueless. You know what I'm saying? Support the fam, support the movement. Love y'all. We out of here. Whip. See you next week.
I want you to focus on here right now. Don't you worry about when you get home. You concentrate on this opportunity. You don't worry about tomorrow. You concentrate on this opportunity with all your might, with all your soul, with all your heart.
Thank you so much for rocking with us as always, right? We don't take it lightly, guys. And we hope that we've provided transformation and not just information. We want you to become the best version of yourself, right? Make sure you check out the show notes to access all the important links and get your product discounts. Now, one favor we're asking of you, do us this favor. Make sure you subscribe and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. We want to know your feedback and how we can serve you better. And if there's anyone that you think could benefit from listening to this show, please, I'm begging you, please share it with them. And remember, as E always says, if you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful.